We head outside the studio on our way to the massive facility known as WB Archives, somewhere in the San Fernando Valley.
Hey, I'm Phil Hyland, and I'm in a warehouse somewhere in Los Angeles, somewhere near or far from Warner Brothers Studios, with my friend and colleague, Elaine Patton.
Hi, how's it going?
Good, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Welcome to the archive.
This is awesome. How do these things they're just laying around? This place is lousy with Batmobiles. How does that work out here?
You know, this is where the Batmobiles are stored. Wow. When they're not on display in the picture car vault, they come here. So you see we've got George Clooney's, Val Kilmer's, Michael Keaton's.
Awesome.
And right here, this is the new one. Let me show you.
Oh my gosh.
This is the Batmobile from Batman v Superman. So it's got these cool doors.
So cool.
Swing up.
I mean, this movie literally just kind of wrapped up, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it wrapped earlier this year.
Mm-hmm.
And so now it's in storage and it will go out for different publicity tours shortly.
Wow. And how do you get your hands on this? I mean, I would imagine it's kind of hard to say, like, hey, I want this for my archive.
Well, I mean, producers and the filmmakers are really great about supporting what we do as well as the studio. So what happens is after the production wraps, we work with the department heads and the filmmakers and we let them know what things that we're interested in and they send them here. Generally, at that point, we haven't seen the movie and things go through so many different cuts that we just take broad strokes, like all the hero props.
Wow.
And then after the movie's released, we'll go through it.
Hey, so what's the process? You get the movie wraps and these things, they just show up in a truck at your dock? Or?
Sometimes. Hopefully we know. Most of the time we know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so for example, these standing wardrobe boxes here,
right.
These are all from Suicide Squad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so this comes out in August and we're all very excited for this one.
That is so cool.
Super excited. And then over here you see these are all props. But what will happen is we get these pallets of props and we have to comb through all of these and decide what assets do we want to keep, what has historical value or promotional value or anything like that. So there's a lot of work to be done when something lands here.
A lot of work.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You gotta look at this.
This is pretty cool, right?
So this has got to be Great Gatsby.
It is. Yeah. So this is,
Wow.
come on over here. This is Leonardo DiCaprio's costume. This is obviously from the tea scene where Leo and Daisy first reconnect. And this is Carey Mulligan as Daisy Buchanan, designed by the wonderful Catherine Martin, who actually came here to the archive and worked closely with me. And then these are a couple of the cars. So the blue car is Tom Buchanan's Auburn. And then the yellow is obviously Gatsby's Duesenberg.
Huge. That is just unbelievable. Look how big it is.
It's huge.
It's not as big as that Batmobile you showed me, but
no,
close.
But this is street legal.
Yeah.
It's pretty, isn't it, old sport? Haven't you ever seen it before? It's all a custom job. Supercharged engine. Get dressed. We're going to lunch.
So this is Crate Alley. It's like, have you seen Raiders of the Lost Ark?
I have. I mean, it's totally, and they must have shot that final scene here where they're putting that thing away.
Almost. But yeah, we've got a million crates here. You see, this is from Beetlejuice.
Wow.
This is from House of Wax, the 1953, not the remake.
Wax.
But yeah, we've got
So cool.
we've got oversized feature props in all of these crates.
Working in archives is like working in motion picture history itself. It's easy to see why the excitement exudes from Elaine, as here she proudly shows off some original artwork. That's Faye Dunaway's costume from Bonnie and Clyde. Whether it's showing us the intricate detailing of the Batmobiles, or the fine craftsmanship of Gatsby's Duesenberg, one thing's for sure, the appreciation of all the amazing historical assets is always evident. But not everything comes in large crates or supercharged engines. Some things are small and delicate, like baby Carlos from the Hangover movie.
Okay, I don't want to stimulate him too much. Now, if somebody wanted to, dare I say, rent baby Carlos out, what do they do?
Well, we don't really rent our assets. We do make them available for loans if we can find the proper venue. Obviously, security is paramount. We want our assets to be protected.
You mean there aren't like 6 of these?
No, there's only one.
Is this the only one?
That is. He is one of a kind. Yes, be careful. But yeah, so if you wanted to display baby Carlos, we would catalog him, get him checked through security, and then we would find appropriate packaging for him.
Change his diaper.
I mean, you want to make sure that he's clean and in displayable condition. Like, we aren't just going to throw him in a box and throw him on a truck. He needs to be, carefully packaged and prepared to go out.
Oh, yeah. He's a darling little boy.
He's a cutie.
Oh, how cute. What's his name?
Ben.
Carlos.
Carlos?
What's the coolest part about working here for Warner Brothers, and in particular at the archive?
Well, I think my favorite part of working at Warner Brothers is how great everybody is. I mean, didn't you feel that like the first time you came here?
Oh, yeah.
Not just to the archive, but to the lot in general.
Oh, I wanted to work here.
I remember coming on to the lot and not being bowled over by sort of the glamour of the lot, but being bowled over by how friendly everybody was to each other.
Yeah, I agree.
And what's great about working at the archive is that I interact with tons of different departments and divisions, domestically, internationally, and people are wonderful. I mean, that Warner Brothers culture just is pervasive.
Yeah.
And I love knowing that and seeing that firsthand.
And it is a big machine, but I think, like you said, you interact with so many different departments. You do get to know people, and, they become, you're friendly with them, and you see how this whole thing, everything pieces together.
Yeah, totally. I mean, there's a lot of people that I just interact with via email, but then when I travel and get to meet them in person, it's so fantastic to finally put a face to that name.
Yeah.
And get to know them a little bit, by having, a meeting or doing an exhibit together. It's pretty cool.
At a massive 108,000 square feet, Warner Brothers Archives is home to decades of props, cars, and as you can see, aisles upon aisles of historical costumes. Just how many?
Almost 20,000 costumes.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's really a pretty significant collection. And we're really fortunate that we have such a deep collection of this.
And I love the way you're just looking at these stacks. You see Batman and Robin, and then The Matrix, great movie, Wonder Woman, Linda Carter as Wonder Woman. Hello.
I know.
That's amazing.
It's pretty fantastic. And then right next to it, we have like prototype boots from Superman.
Unreal.
So we keep not just the things that actually make it to camera, but the different tests along the way.
Yeah.
We asked Elaine if she had a favorite costume. She did. It was Audrey Hepburn's green coat from the classic My Fair Lady.
So this is the very first costume that you see Audrey Hepburn in My Fair Lady. She's sitting in Covent Garden selling her little bouquets of flowers. So here's her green coat. And she was just such a tiny little petite thing.
She was, yeah.
But you see how much thought and care went into something like this. Like all of these little mending stitches here. And how it was just aged down. Because, she's supposed to be quite poor.
Yeah.
But just beautiful. It's just beautiful. And so, we take care to, stuff it and make sure that these things aren't just thrown into some box, haphazardly.
Who takes good care of me? Oh, wouldn't it be lovely, 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 lovely?
And here, these two costumes I wanted to show you.
Unbelievable.
These are from Interview with a Vampire.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, and when you see something like this in person, you really get an appreciation for the amount of work that goes into making a costume like this. Like, if you see the buttons on Brad Pitt's costume, how detailed it is.
Yeah.
With the sequin and the embroidery. I mean, it's really, really a lot of work.
And the way that movie was so beautifully shot, I mean, it pays off, all that attention to detail. It's
Absolutely.
not just like thrown together. And
No.
Tom Cruise here.
Tom, absolutely. This is Vampire Lestat. Wow. And this is something that, as beautiful as it looked on screen, when you see it in person, it really takes your appreciation to a higher level.
Yeah, and the actors certainly bring it to life.
Oh, absolutely.
I remember their long hair and all.
Yes. Their creepy vampire makeup.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was pretty cool. It was a great movie.
It was. I loved it.
The dark gift is different for each of us. But one thing is true of everyone: we grow stronger as we go along. Just take my word for it.
What's your favorite Warner Brothers movie?
Ocean's 11. I
Wow.
love that trilogy. Ocean's 11, 12, and 13.
Okay.
They're fantastic.
That's cool.
I mean,
Surprised.
those guys are so charming, and it's just a fun caper. It's just a really fun movie. It's a fun world to be in for a few hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you could be any Warner Brothers movie character, who would that be?
That's a tough question. We've got some great characters.
You do.
I think I would be Professor Dumbledore from the Harry Potter franchise.
Wow, you're just throwing me all these curveballs. Okay.
But happiness can be found even in the darkest of times. If one only remembers to turn on the light.
It's so great. And Dumbledore is he's so powerful and he's so wise. And he just has obviously had a fantastic life with all those crazy adventures with Grindelwald.
Wow.
I think he would be a cool guy to be.
Oh, that's so awesome. Well, Elaine, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for finally making the trek out here. I know it's kind of far away.
I hope I find my way back to Warner Brothers Studios. I don't know. Maybe. All right. Well, have a great day.
Yes, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Nice to have you out here.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.